Why is Kakashi still single? I mean, all of his students have gotten married and had kids, yet Kakashi is still reading the pervy sage's novels at 46 years old. Now, not everyone needs to get married, but you'd think that we'd have a female character introduced that could be Kakashi's potential love interest by this point. And it's not like Kakashi's lacking in terms of looks or even swag or personality. He's got some of the best game in Naruto. The world-renowned copy ninja, the 6th Hokage, student of the 4th Hokage, sensei to the 7th Hokage. How's he not crawling in Punani? The closest thing Kakashi had to a girlfriend, really, was maybe Guy. Now I want to steer clear from the creepy fanfic pairings, so let me just start the video. If I was to get into a serious explanation as to why Kakashi doesn't have a girlfriend or wife, or why he doesn't generally express interest in something like that, it's probably due to all the traumatic events that his adolescence was comprised of. Kinda like Sasuke. Kakashi's life was shaped by loss. When he was a child, just in the academy, his father Sakamo, the White Fang, took his own life after being ostracized by the village for failing to complete the objectives of one of his missions. This would deeply scar Kakashi and would make him devote himself to the laws of the village, and it would also make him much colder. His ideology would change when his teammate Obito would sacrifice himself in order to save Kakashi and give Kakashi his Sharingan. That did change Kakashi's prospects about the rules in the village. However, it would only add to his loss, and it would only get worse from there. Fast forward to when Rin, Kakashi's other teammate, impales herself on Kakashi's Chidori in order to kill herself so that she wouldn't rampage through the leaf as the Three Tails. Kakashi had promised his dying friend that he'd protect Rin at all costs, so Rin's death was especially traumatic for Kakashi. And shortly after, his sensei, the 4th Hokage, dies sealing the Nine Tails and protecting the village. It's likely that Kakashi just had too much PTSD to actually pursue a relationship with anyone that didn't wear a green jumpsuit. Kakashi would go on to join the Anbu, where he'd only dive deeper into his depression and detachment, earning himself the nickname Cold-Blooded Kakashi due to how apathetic he was in murdering his Anbu targets. So it's not surprising that he wasn't married or anything when he became squad captain for Team 7. Kakashi does have some of his conflicts and traumas resolved when he meets his father at Limbo and when his old teammate Obito reverts to the good side. Obito tells Kakashi that he's still needed in this world to guide the younger generation. After losing the Sharingan, a weight had been lifted off of Kakashi's shoulders. You'd think that this would be the perfect time for the copy ninja to settle down, but instead, Kakashi's like fuck that and becomes the 6th Hokage. As the Hokage, he wouldn't really have time for a relationship, this time due to his busy Hokage schedule, and by the time that Naruto is ready to become Hokage, Kakashi's already in his late 40s. So Kakashi's never really had the time or interest to pursue something like that. It's not to say that there wasn't anyone interested in Kakashi. You see, Team Minato had a similar dynamic to Team 7 initially, in the sense that one was a loudmouthed fool that aspired to become the Hokage, one was the quiet, cold, and introverted overachiever, and the third was the female medic that needed to be rescued most of the time and was crushing on the cool kid. The main difference is that Obito wouldn't get physically assaulted by Rin. It's heavily implied that Rin had a thing for Kakashi, and she even admits her feelings to him after Obito gets crushed by the boulder. However, Kakashi was no Orochimaru, and he wasn't gonna snake on his homeboy Obito. It also could be that Rin didn't necessarily love Kakashi as much as she was infatuated by his swag factor. I mean, Kakashi was just like Mr. Rizzler himself, Sasuke Uchiha, the type of persona that was depicted to attract all girls. So you could say that Rin just liked the cool, talented genius, the son of the White Fang. Rin actually remained in limbo after her death, waiting for Obito to join. I'm curious to see how the dynamic between those three would have fared had they all remained alive and unharmed. Now, this isn't it for Kakashi's love escapades, as there have been other potential love interests for Kakashi introduced in both the light novels and the anime filler. Kakashi Hiden, a year after the 4th Ninja War before becoming the 6th Hokage, Kakashi meets Keiho, an ice ice release Kekkei user. This lady, Keo, infiltrates the plane Kakashi was guarding disguised as a passenger, while in reality, she's working with a group of hijackers. Her and Kakashi talk for a bit and they battle later on. She shares the story of the loss of her son to get his sympathy. Eventually, she turns on the crew and saves a hostage, and once everyone's brought to justice, Kakashi persuades Tsunade into making Keo a prison warden instead, since she has this ice-released ability that combines targets with ice chains. Now it's implied that Kakashi and this Keo have sparks or chemistry between them, but they don't contact each other ever again, so it doesn't really lead anywhere. Of course, the first time we see Kakashi interested in a woman is a plane hijacker that had lost her son. In the anime, Kakashi has an encounter with a lady named Hanari, a spy from the Hidden Lock village from the Land of Keys. Gotta love the anime naming. So this spy is brought into the village, and when her mind's being analyzed for intel by Inoichi, he discovers that she'd met Kakashi as a kid. So he summons the copy ninja to escort her and try to read her with his Sharingan, and Team 7 catch their sensei on what they assume is a date. Really some heartwarming moments when they all get along and Sasuke forgets his PTSD. Eventually the Land of Keys offers to exchange Hanari with a Leaf hostage. During the exchange, Kakashi says that he can't let her go, but that's because he deciphered with his Sharingan that she was able to gather intel on Inoichi and he couldn't let that slide. After the commotion, Kakashi catches up to her and she reveals her apparent admiration for the village. She tells Kakashi that she died to his hands, but Kakashi just lets her escape and tells Team 7 that she jumped off a cliff and was an admirable ninja. Kakashi even thinks about her when he sees the green-haired performer. Yet again, another encounter that led to nowhere. I mean, neither KO nor Hanare have really shared the same chemistry with Kakashi as Might Guy. But putting the memes aside, Might Guy actually did play a very important role in helping Kakashi stray away from his dark depression that he was on. After Kakashi lost everyone, he became detached, but Guy was still there, competing with him. They are eternal rivals after all. Even though Kakashi kept ignoring Guy never let up. Guy even recognized what the Ambo was doing to Kakashi. He noticed the darkness Kakashi was engulfed in, and it was Guy's efforts that pushed the third Hokage to push Kakashi into becoming a sensei, and Kakashi would eventually become squad leader for Team 7, which began to push Kakashi out of his depression, and it was all thanks to Guy. So you know what? Kakashi doesn't need a girl, he has Might Guy after all.